obviously. Sorry for the delay. I had to let the other two process for if I had to make this third video. So, talk about the game industry. This is part one, two, three, part three of it. You saw my Derek Taylor's videos from earlier. Obviously, there's going to be more of those tomorrow. Obviously, because almost time for me to go to bed. Obviously, I go to bed late, but either way. So I'll make these two bills real quick and then show you the data content, the data tier list tomorrow, pretty much when I get up. Obviously, but I'll make these two bills tonight. Might be three if I can get to the last one if I go to sleep. But either way, talk about the game industry and the EDC. So let's get to it. Sony fanboys, man. We got a problem with Sony. The EDC was fantastic. Saw some of it, obviously, but it wasn't televised. You had to really go to it. But based on what I saw on Xbox, Reddit, and Colt Eastwood, Sony's in trouble dealing I'm debating if I get that PS5 now. I think I told you in the video earlier. I was still getting. I'm debating that now because the 10th generation is going to play all of everybody's exclusives on PSN on the 10th generation console, and no multiplayer play on either. Or my Uncle John's going to have Game Pass Ultimate either way. And the pre-orders for the 10th generation start. I think later on, based off rumors right now, just a rumor right now. I don't know if it's completely true, but they said the pre-orders start later on in the fall. Probably somewhere around the summer fall, somewhere around there. And we got the Barrel Direct. The Barrel Direct coming up this month, in the middle of this month. So we have back-to-back the Barrel Directs. But I told them I'm still debating if I get the PS5. I'm still debating because Sony still has nothing. It was carrying the PS5 other than the money had a third party is the PS4 pretty much because if they were worried about next gen, they would have kept those games on PS4 instead of making them cost gen. But because of their lack of revenue, as I told you in part one of the video earlier, is the reason why Sony don't have no revenue as of now. So, and now that's a very third party because no first parties, no roadmap, only racing 2 games, single player story driven games a year, no remakes, no rematch, thanks to Blue Point being gone. Either way, and it's never good on Sony's end, like I said. And PS5 been carried by the PS4 generation for this long. That's what nobody's upgraded to. And I think half my friends are still on their PS4, still counting myself. Either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. That was better off sticking the cloud. Just wait for the whole slate of games to come to Microsoft Cloud. And they say you can use the, hey, Chris Pack, and WKY, what's up? Oh, yeah. Oh, you comment on my video. Oh, you said, oh, yeah, okay. Hey, Skidman, hi, the super chat, what's up? Hey, Chris Pack, Andrew, QI, what's up? But either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. Because, like I said, lack of a roadmap. Like I said, Chris Pack, how's your day? Oh, my day is good, Chris Pack, and WKYU. Anyway, Sony still has nothing, bro. And might as well stick to cloud because they about to bring the rest of those backwards compatible games to cloud soon. Now they took the cloud beta off the word cloud gaming. So either way, so like I said, man, Sony still has nothing. I'm debating if I get that PS5 now. I'm debating, but I'm still getting my tablet. That's later on in the summertime when I get that. Found the reasonable price for that too. So I got to get my toiletries soon. Again, April Fool's Day. But either way, I was a little on toiletries. But either way, cause you saw my data to list, but I'm sure the amount saw my data to list video for that earlier why Nintendo's outdone Sony, which they have. Kind of two decade long old console. If you saw that data to outdone Sony's current next generation because of lack of revenue. It's a very third party because they've been carried by the PS4 generation. I know they want to take the PS4 on down. It's going down. I'm going to have to that. So you can't say that if they have all cross-gen games. If that was the case, Steve Martin, answer this question. Let's put it on I'm never going to give up on this. Pride, are you define pride, blood? That depends. Either way, that's a good question. But either way, like I said, Sony still has nothing, bub. And I stick to cloud now because they might bring those remaining games to cloud now. And I'll keep up my PlayStation Plus, but that's if they push up. I know they're gonna push up the prices eventually, but either way, so it's going to deal with that price hike, sort of. But I was thinking about upgrading the PlayStation Plus Extra, but either way, because I can finish 50 minutes of Trails French, that game is a play anyway, because I already finished it on cloud. I had to finish the game on Sunday. That was beyond pay. I finished the game twice. If I finish it on PS4, but on PlayStation Plus Extra. But either way, like I said, Sony still has nothing there on there. I don't know if I want to get that PS5 right now. Could have been carried by money-headed third parties, the typical sport game, Borderlands, and all the other Ubisoft games, as far as Tom Clancy and everything else. And the sport games, as far as basketball, baseball, football, wrestling, and everything else. Like I said, Sony still has nothing, Bob. Like I said, and then the temp generation, as far as the EDC was fantastic. And I told my Uncle John, I sent my 2 bills to my Uncle John earlier, that the temperature rating was going to be a circular console, and damn if I did not call it right. Because based off the leaks, it was going to be a circular console. It was leaks before when I leaked it out, showing with the console for the temperature rating, it was going to be circular. And then the Series C was going to be the same shape as the Series S, but then they're calling this one Project Franklin and Elliowood for the EDC at the EDC. Project Franklin and Elliowood for this 10th generation console. But I told them on too, like me and King David said, no PlayStation said we're going to keep the bottleneck this keep the bottleneck and calm this whole journey because Sony still has nothing, and then they don't have nothing that piece other than Tekken 8. What else they got? Easy Platinum games, or what they call independent games, what they call indie games, and which is basically I've been buying for Sony all year long. Well, the first 3 months of this month, this year all year long, and most of last year and the year before. But bought some RPGs, but those would play anywhere once if they was. But either way, and that PS game, those would play anywhere. But either way, still getting store connections, yes, depending on what they charge for it. But that sale probably won't start until around the middle April, near the end of May. But either way, and I'll probably be able to get that game soon digitally. But either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. And if you want to really answer this question, tell me why Soul Calibur 4 was on PS5, which is a PS4 game still, but it's short stood on PS4. And if they did this, the smart thing for Soul Calibur 6, no, I already got the game. I already done with most of my character creation on Furry Camp. Stay tuned for that video. Once I figure out who I'm going to make for Soul, I still got like 30-something character slots left. And then I'm done with Soul Calibur 4. I just had to reload the storyline. I had to get that Warriors Respite trophy, or trophies on Furry Camp Max Glory too. But either way, like I said, man, Sony's in deep shit. And then I told you in that first bill earlier this morning that Sony's dealing with a lawsuit. $2 billion lawsuit they're not going to be able to get themselves out of. Either way. Like I said, man, Sony still has nothing there on there. I don't know what to tell you on this, bub. Could have been carried by third parties in the PS4 and third parties. Because if it was first on next gen only, as you would say, since you call yourself a business intent, you're not. If you only have 1 degree and you're failed. My uncle has all 3 of them, so what else is new with that there? But either way, Sony would have kept Soul Calibur 4. No, not Soul Calibur 4. Soul Calibur 6 is what I meant to say. On PS4 only. That would have made more sense. You know, the game was on PS4. They would have kept that on. And then Tekken 7, to be honest, I know that's on PS4 only. But that short should have crossed in as well, to be honest. That would have made more sense. And I know you want to say Microsoft's still in trouble. They ain't making no more consoles. And they want to say it's on Injustice and they're not making no more consoles. Well, it's already confirmed, but in a console, it's circular. No multiplayer paywall. You still have Game Pass, Ultimate Premium. Most likely I'll have Ultimate. But between those 2 tiers, but most likely I stick to Premium or Ultimate. And when I upgrade the tier for PlayStation Plus, probably be extra. But that'd be the same price I pay for Premium, which is $14 a month, $15 a month for Premium and extra. I probably pay it that way. It pays all by itself. But anyway, so I can finish 60 minutes Charles Shredder's Revenge. And again, that was there pretty much. But anyway, because PlayStation Plus Premium is not worth the $18. It's not worth it. Because they don't have the true games they show should have been there for PlayStation Plus. Kind of the ones that me and Jim Monty played years ago, back in the heyday. But either way, Sony's PS5 disc model and the PS5 Pro disc has been carried by the PS4 generation. And it's aged well, like I said. And Sony still has nothing. If you saw my videos earlier, my data tour was earlier, Nintendo's outdone Sony. You got nothing on me right now, The console's third party. You won't admit it though, because Sony still has nothing. Like I said, the 10th generation console's gonna be an absolute monster. And so far, the marketing for Sony is well, I should say the marketing on Sony has been terrible at best. It's been terrible. Microsoft's marketing has been much better, but they got to do better with that marketing. But it's been much better as far as the marketing so far. Like I said, Sony still has nothing, bro. And then they hyping up money-headed third parties for Marvel, and knowing that Marvel is heavily third party because nobody's going to have the storage space. So I'm not saying you had the storage space, so I'm sure you had the storage space installed. My cousin doesn't. Joseph doesn't have the storage space installed. Again, it's going to be 160 gigabytes. You don't have the storage space to install that. That's what I've been told to get the Gumstick Eternals. That way you had the storage space to install the game. But you didn't want to listen to me on that. Joseph said that's a FOMO and FIMO. Joseph was like, what's wrong with me? It's a fear of missing out, if you know what that term I just told you in this video. And then fear of missing out, if you know what FIMO. Fear of you missing out. And FOMO for fear of missing out. That's the one of those definitions. Now you know the terms now. Either way, Sony still has nothing, bro. I told you before, give Sony the smoke. I told Joe and Dewan to give Sony the smoke. Y'all can't keep defending them what they're doing. Much they want to keep ignoring why Sony is not sincere. And the thing is the console sale, but what is maybe they don't got the software. They don't have they don't have all their guys the hardware. They don't got no true software, but like I said, Sony still has nothing. Microsoft's going to dominate the 10th generation. Hashtag like me and King David said, no PlayStation. We're gonna run it up on these morons. We're gonna keep the bull on content this one because Sony still has nothing. The 10th generation is going to turn the tables on that discless console and disc console for the 10th generation. That Series C disc and disc. That's going to be an absolute. Both consoles for the 10th are going to be absolute monsters. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I told Joseph, I warned them all in the game industry. We need to talk. But no, Demon's going to say, we'll talk when we get the PS5. I said, well, don't see anybody getting it now because, for one, it's jailbroken now. They jailbroke the console as of 2 months ago. The one nobody's going to buy it now. Because my uncle's software, as far as that, is on it now. The homebrew is on it now. And then now with that, lack of revenue, they're pulling it. They're not careful. They're going to pull a Sega soon. The lack of revenue, their manager is terrible, their marketing is terrible. Unlike Microsoft's starting to get better. It's slowly getting better. It's taking its time, but it's getting better as the months are going by. But either way, Sony still has nothing to do all day. And I told you before, give Sony the smoke. Stop defending them. Unless you want to keep ignoring, stop defending them. Because they don't give a damn, but they give a damn about the money. That's basically what they're all about. And that's basically what Sony is all about in a nutshell. They don't give a damn. They give a damn about the money. That's basically what they give a damn about. You know it and I know it. I know they're also going to say Sony does care about me, console. No, they don't. Even what you're doing, no, they don't. They expose you as an easy target to expose. That's when you're wrong there. They're on that too. Either way, Sony still has nothing, bub. Like I told you before, give Sony the smoke. It is well deserved. Because what's saving it right now is, like I said, it's the console, but it don't matter if they don't got the software. They don't got the roadmap. They don't got the games. And they're all third parties if they are, and second parties if they are. No first parties. Much said they got Activision. They had 30% doesn't count for nothing. If Microsoft owns 70% of that pie on Microsoft's end, bub. Count for Game Pass for an ultimate and essential, bub. That's what separates Microsoft and Sony, even when that 10th generation started. Because that 10th generation, like me and King David said, hashtag no PlayStation said, we're going to keep running up on these morons. We're going to keep the bull on that content this one because Sony still has nothing there out there. Keep telling you this, stop defending them. Because you want to try to bash Asha Sharma or attempt to bash her. You cannot bash a younger day Mother Roger. You cannot do that. In an era that defies bias, I'm not saying you're biased. There's a lot of people that I do know that are biased, but either way, you're not going to bash her. Because let it be Jim Ryan, y'all don't bash this guy. I've been bashing him even when he did retire. I've still been bashing him ever since. And he's been gone for almost 3 years, and I still bash him to this day. because Sony is suffering from this guy, and then Herman Holt's not helping y'all cause because he shut down Blue Point. He did not help y'all cause on that either, bub. To the point, SoCal 5 remake was probably in the ballot, and they canceled it if they did. And SoCal 4 remastered, if they had that too in the works, that was canceled because they shut down Blue Point. And who knows if they're going to make a Tekken 10 now, because Blue Point did work with Bandai Namco briefly to make Tekken 10 potentially Tekken Tournament 3 potentially, if it was going to, not say it was, it's just a rumor right now, but if it was, they canceled that too, so no Tekken 10 after that, and no Tekken 10 3 because of that, because Blue Point got shut down. That's what Fast Runner's been gone since Monday, to be honest. But either way, last Monday, to be honest. But either way, Sony's in trouble, brother. And then there was a $2 billion lawsuit for charging too much for the games. And now they're in trouble now because they can't even afford that lawsuit. And they can't get this out of the midst of and Joseph. Don't know what to tell y'all on that. The return gives Sony the smoke. The Microsoft might win that 10th generation. The tide have turned. And then Steam, despite the console being delayed, the Steam console being delayed until the middle of fall, I guess. The post came out in June or July, but they pushed it. They pushed it to September or October, which makes sense. Still the Steam console, and that's going to really ruin Sony because it has all PS5's exclusives on that Steam console, and also on the Microsoft, and it's going to have all Joe's PS5 exclusives on that 10th generation console. As I told Joe, get Sony to stop defending them. I mean that. We need to talk. We need to talk, Joe. We need to talk. I know he's avoiding me right now because he don't want to talk about it because, I got all my rival sources, and I got my receipts right in that futon right there. It's exposed in there, and I can use his own source against him, since I already know about the person that he watches. I can use his own source against him. Either way, Sony still has nothing. As I told you, your console's a very third party. Because no Microsoft's third party. I said, no, they're telling me first party now. They got every studio. All but second, if they buy second, that's all she worked for Sony. Either way. And then the game that might save Sony, it's not going to be on Sony as an exclusive. That's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6, but that's going to be on Microsoft on the 10th generation. Like King David said earlier, I guarantee that King David is right on this. That 10th generation console has Grand Theft Auto 6 on it. That'll be unanimous gaming of your hard edition if it is. And I know why it won't give it the order, because it was on Microsoft. It wasn't on Sony because of them goddamn money hats. Goddamn money hats. Either way. So I told them all to give Sony the small. It is well deserved. You cannot bash Arsha Sharma right now, because she has done good so far through her first month so far. So she just need to keep it up. No, she works with Instacart. She made Instacart Plus a juggernaut. But either way, give Sony the smoke, deal on her, and just stop playing around right now. Stop playing around with my intelligence too, because we know what's going on with Sony. And Sony's not doing well right now. There are too many layoffs. They got so many lawsuits, counting this lawsuit I heard from this one from Crazy Woods Gun, as I told them all the Crazy Woods Gaming on the Xbox International podcast. Sony still has nothing, and then they did with a $2 billion lawsuit. That's not good, bud. That's not good, bud. Not good at all. They have no games. All means not. Money had a second part, lots of sport games. They're telling me multiplayer for those. But either way, playing anywhere it was. But either way, all they have is sport games, the money-headed third parties, and even the money-headed third parties are not panning out well, because the money-headed third parties have fought. Counting, what was the name of that game? The RPG, I forgot. It came out. I think it came out around February or January. That game fought. It was Code Vein. I think that's it. There we go. Code Vein 2. That fought, and it got a rating of 55 out of 100. I think it said 60 out of 100, which was terrible. Now, they said that game was still pretty good from a storyline, so it's not good from an ending standpoint because it wasn't like part one. Why y'all games are flop, bub? Give Sony the smoke. And I told you, stop them. They give a damn about the money. And I told you wasted all that money on your goddamn Call of Duty add-ons when you could have got all your games digitally and physically. You better even have any digital. You better even have it. And to be honest, you don't even own that physical media. That physical media is an empty disc. It's just the license is on it. Even John said, wow, I did not think of that, soldier. It is an empty disc. You put no license on it, as I told my therapist before. A while ago when I went to my point most recently. But either way, Sony still has nothing, Bubba. Give Sony the smoke, as I told you and Joseph. Give Sony, stop defending. Don't give a damn. We'll give you as a target to expose. Trust me when I tell you. Companies don't give a damn about you, especially Sony per se. They give a damn about the money. That's basically what they're doing. They're nickel and diming you to death. That's basically what they're doing. So I told him I'd give Sony the smoke. It's well deserved. Because they have not done well this generation. They've been carried by the PS4 generation for this long, and it's still going on to this day. And what's cute, skin of post, those money-headed third parties, even the money-headed third parties are not panning out here. Like I said before, give Sony the smoke. I've been on this, been calling this out, and I'm sure John's brother Kenny's been calling this out. I'm almost sure John's brother Kenny's been, especially my friend on PSN, John's brother Kenny's been calling this out. I'm sure he's been calling this out. I'm not on this call. He's probably calling this out too. And I'm sure he gave Microsoft smoke for most reason from last year and the year before their price hikes and everything else. I'm sure at least me and Kenny, actually me and John's brother Kenny have been giving Sony the smoke. The first one, he don't have PlayStation Plus. When he had PlayStation Plus, then he probably don't have it no more now because it's unless you get PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, those are the best values again for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. But either way, Sony still has nothing to do. I told you, boy, give Sony the smoke. Stop defending. They don't give a damn about you. Even if you're dealing with your weight and your mental health issue that you're dealing with right now, all they give a damn is the money, and they nickel and dime you to death. And they're about to push up PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium and Essential eventually, even for the yearly ones. I don't know if they're gonna push up the quarterly one. I think they will, but either way, you need to get Sony the smoke, bro. Microsoft's turned the time, the 10th generation. If they can get their marketing on the end right, and they know they hired some better marketing people, so that's good too on Microsoft's end, so that's good. Either way, give Sony the smoke. And I told him we need to talk. We need to talk because Sony still has nothing. And there's 40 studios, and my cousin only plays 7 of the 40. You're still very casual. You might as well say you're niche in games. That's just me on that because it's getting to that point where if he's not going to try another game, what's going to stop Joe from playing another game other than the same ones? 40 studios, and he only plays, or 8 of the studios, of the 40. So he only plays, that's a niche gamer. And if I really want to use something as a receipt, I can go pull up the PSN profile right now on Amazon Silk or on my phone right now. Out of the 1,600 trophies you earned, you have 5,000 unearned. That's not good, bub. Try hard in gaming, and I question that too. Even if you get that Platinum Storm 4, Storm Connection pun intended. It's Storm 4, but either way. Because Diamante, out of all the 4,700 he's earned, he has all that bronze scale. Don't like a lot of bronze scale. He has over 12,000. Diamante has. I told Diamante you have 12,000 unearned trophies, but despite you having 4 platinums, and it comes at a cost because you play all these goddamn Soul White games. Then you don't have no Soul White games because Blue Point is gone now. Either way, Sony still has nothing. Sony still has nothing. As I told them, to give Sony the smoke, and I told you, give Sony the smoke. Stop defending them. That only makes y'all look hypocritical. And honestly, what's that word that Mr. Boomstick asked? Disingenuous. Cause y'all been spoiled by the PS4 trend. We know this damn all day. You know it and I know it. And I told Joe this too. You've been spoiled by me because you took my kindness for weakness because I had all the games, mostly half the studios, pretty kind of independent studios included. Say my kindness way I did not take that well, Buck. Jamal told me about this too a while ago. But either way, give Sony the smoke. It is well deserved. Sony has not done good this time because they've been carried by the PS4 generation, and they're still being carried by it. And these money-headed third parties and all these cross-gen games. That's what's carrying them on fault. That's being carried on fault money-wise. Now they're dealing with the $2 billion lawsuit. Sony still has nothing. And they're about to lose that lawsuit. If they lose that lawsuit, Sony is done. By this time, the 9th generation is over. Whatever that is. And that 10th generation, like me and Kate David said, hashtag no PlayStation, said, we're going to keep the pool on content this one because Sony still has nothing. We're going to run up on these morons because Sony still has nothing. And Diamante can joke and not tell me otherwise. Even when it comes to the membership, the PlayStation Plus membership was scams. 2006 to 2010. If Joe don't want to believe on it, look it up. Much you look up shit. PlayStation Plus was scammed in 2010, 2006. It was originally a scam. Then the scam got worse in 2010. Think about that too. And that's the reason I PlayStation Plus short should never been on PS4. Short should have been free internet, just like the PS3 was. But no, Sony wanted to be greedy and petty like that. But that's just Sony in a nutshell. That's why they're not going to succeed. I'm not going to go but I'm right because Sony still has nothing to do on it. What you want me to tell you here? And what you want to tell Joe here? You got nothing without me. I told Joe that too. Can't call the games. I don't want to hear Joe and Dave always say to support the devs and welfare pass and all this type of shit. That's bullshit. I call cap on that shit. That's bullshit. Support the devs and I ask Joseph on that. Because you play this out of the 40 studios, you only play 8 of them. well, 9 of them if you count the simulation games. So that's not out of the 40. So you're a niche gamer, and that's just me. Because most players that are casual, they would have played more than just the same games. Play what I want or not. Play what I want or not. Like I said before, give someone the phone. Stop defending them. You're looking disingenuous, and you're only looking more hypocritical than you think. You're not a neutral fanboy, Joe. We know what you're doing, but especially me. You think you know everything, you don't. Because most people would have made the right decision in the game and would have caught gay someone to smoke 4 years ago. Where was you at in the game industry 4 years ago? Huh, Joe? Huh, Joe? Again, I said that in my other bill last week. Where was you at 4 years ago in the game? Huh, Joe? Huh, Joe? You knew Activision was going to get taken over by Microsoft. You knew Bethesda was going to get taken over by Microsoft. You knew Activision was going to get taken over by. You knew the other studios that they were going to buy for us, the other studios, Sega, and maybe Square Enix, they might get in this con to buy Square Enix now. But either way, give Sony the smoke. It's well-deserved smoke, man. They've been carried by the PS4 generation. They've been spoiled by sequels, especially getting to the fine Naruto, pun intended. They've been spoiled by trilogies, with that trilogy of the game. They've been spoiled by Part 4 games, with the for that game, count fighting games. They've been spoiled by Part 5 games, and any game that the 5, 6 point, including some games that didn't pan out, some games that did pan out. But either way, give Sony the smoke. It is well-deserved. Just want to go on this long rant, obviously, but either way, it was longer than almost 30 minutes. But yeah, keep the rant going, I guess. But either way, Sony still has nothing to them out there. As I told, no hashtag, no PlayStation. We're going to keep the boot on the console. We're going to run it up on these morons. Now that the console could be completely over because Microsoft has no multiplayer paywall. Even when you have Game Pass Premium or Ultimate or Essential, no multiplayer, so you can able to play all your games free and make yourself a Steam card if you need a Steam, honestly, like myself. But either way, in Series C and Series, Helix, if you know, the circular console's coming out soon next year. In the Series C, it's going to be shaped like the Series X, but it's going to be much bigger from the shapes. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be a bigger rectangular console. But either way, the other one's going to be a circular console. But either way, told him I'll give Joe the smoke. Told him I'll give Sony the smoke. Stop the fun because they nickel and dominate the death of the kind of these microtransactions, especially in tech. And I don't know the nickel and dominate the death of the goddamn microtransactions. I'm almost sure they are. But the nickel and dominate over the kind of Call of Duty. Now the 2K ones for the basketball is a pass because you're paying for some of the greatest all-time belts. So that's a pass for those 2K belts. As far as the Call of Duty and the Tekken ones, well, the Tekken ones is a pass too. But the Call of Duty ones, I called Cap Joe on that bullshit. Because it really was pay to win. But I think they were cheating with those add-ons too. Because you didn't want to use the actual guns that were in the game instead of just using the guns and earning them the hard way instead of earning them the easy way. They're always shortcutting shit, man. Like, come on. Not playing the winning card. At least I got on cloud, I got the Black Ops 6 on Black. I got the Prestige at the last Prestige. I just gotta get the level 1000 now. Once I can finish those easy indie games first. Just get my membership back on cloud. But it's only costing me is $14.99 for Game Pass Premium every month. But either way, because like I said, it will come to Game Pass Premium eventually. I have to wait a whole year. That was more than half the year's almost gone. Well, 30 years almost, not half the year. 30 the year's almost gone. Because by the time October comes around, there'll be the 2nd anniversary of Black Ops 6. So, like I said, welcome to Game Pass Premium more than likely, and it'll stay there permanently. So good. I can stick the Game Pass Premium, and if Black Ops 6 comes to Game Pass, that probably won't come into the year. Then if it does, then I stick the Game Pass Premium going forward. Now I can still have to play 2K Falls of Borderlands. I still have to buy Borderlands the Dance Collection on cloud, and those easy $1 game score games for each age is off, unintended. Either way, and the other ones for each age is off. But either way, give Sony the smoke. They're nickel and diming you today. That's basically what they've been doing to me for the first 3 months so far as these games. Easy playing the games, but it's played off because I was scared to play all those games. I finished all my games for all 3 months so far. And my daily wrap is going to look good for Spotify, for the music that was still on my Spotify's and daily wrap for my PSN, all for my PSN. They're going to look good for my trophies. I earned a lot more this year, just like I did in the middle of my prime, those platinums. Unfortunately, 150 platinums all for my PSNs. But anyway, give Sony the smoke. I mean this. And as for Joe for this, we need to talk. We know what's going on in the games. You're not neutral, bro. It doesn't pay to be a fanboy if you're not going to talk about this. You're not neutral, really. Much say you are. You're not. You're just holding on to Thomas Crusading because Sony still has nothing. And if you want to bring up, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. You know the game Madden 2026, right? You got digital, right? You know the end of the PlayStation Plus Extra, right? And Premium, right? And potentially Essential, right? So that's another $70 you just wasted on a sports game when you could have got it to your subscription service. The Sony tax is real. Oh, Joe's gonna say I'm gonna call Cap on that. Nigga, you can't call Cap on that. You knew that Madden game was going to be free. That's why Madden 2020, they gave me that free. The cross-gen version free. Somehow order the PS5 version right now, but they're about to give me the PS4 version free. Straight up. It's a free-to-play pretty much. Overall, the game's already 2 years old. Either way. And then if that was the beginning of it, Spider-Man 2 is coming to PlayStation Plus Extra. In premium, well, it's already part of Extra and Premium as of last month. Now it's coming to Essential soon. So you already know who got the game to Spider-Man 2 PlayStation Plus Essential. That was me. Again, you relied on me. You expect my kindness for weakness again. Either way. And then if that wasn't the beginning of it, Final Fantasy 16, that's coming to PlayStation Plus Premium Extra and Essential too. So you wasted $70. Well, I wouldn't say you not digitally, but so you didn't waste $70. But you wasted it when you could have got it through your subscription service. You could have waited for that. The Sony tax is very much the Sony PlayStation Plus scam, which is still its scam, it's still true to this day. Either way, Sony still has nothing. And then our nose on Madden 2027, and that's Matthew Stafford. And he represents my zodiac that I represent on my girl, and that's Aquarius, because that's ruled by Uranus and Saturn. And which also I'm ruled by my father's Earth, and I'm married to Earth, that's being his Mercury. But also he's also ruled by air, my father's mother's end, which is Uranus and Saturn. But either way, of air, but either way. Like I said, give Sony the smoke, man. As I told you, stop defending them. Stop defending them. This goes for them all day too. We need to, well, I know there was a real way to talk about this on the PS5. I said, no, we need to talk now. But this is ridiculous. And I told Joe that too. We need to talk. We need to talk. This is getting sad on Sony's end, bro. And they're going down a path of destruction. They're going to pull a second soon. Like I said before. Because they have no money. Now, officially, they're about to deal with a $2 billion lawsuit, and that's going to cost them dearly if they lose this lawsuit. Either way, Sony still has nothing. They're cooked now. They don't got no games other than non-money-headed second parties. Money-headed third parties that are going to continue to flop. Hell, even Marathon's going to be dead on arrival. You know, it came out last Thursday. That game's dead on arrival because they said the Steam sales on that was low, and the PSN sale for that game was low, and that was a Play Anywhere game. Either way, the game is already dead on arrival. I'm so glad Microsoft did not buy out Bungie. I'm so glad they did not. Because, man, that game would have probably did a bet on Microsoft, but it would never sold as much. I'm so glad Microsoft did not buy, but I'm so glad Sony did buy, but it was probably the biggest mistake Sony could have made in gaming industry's history. Concord 2.0, like I said, for Marathon, because Concord was the biggest game in history. Cold 2 was the second biggest game in Concord 1.5, if you know about Concord, pun intended. Concord, the biggest game in gaming history. Like I said before, Sony's in deep shit, bro, because this lawsuit is going to really wrong. And if they can't win this lawsuit, that lawsuit goes through, that is all she wrote for Sony, man. And they might pull a second soon, like I told you before. But okay, guys, I'm in the bit right there. Stay tuned for the second bit. It's coming up in a few seconds. Just want to go on this long range, obviously. But the EDC for Microsoft to generate that project, Helix Circular console and the Project Series C for Project Earth, those consoles are going to be absolute monsters because it's going to have all PS5 exclusives and all this. No multiplayer paywall and everything else. But either way, anyways. All right, give me my PSN and my outro. Stay tuned for my next best coming up in a few seconds. Stay tuned for my second best coming up in a few. Then I'll make my 2 data chill best build. That's coming up tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for those tomorrow too. But I'll make one more video, then I had to get back to what I was doing. Obviously, but either way, tonight. But either way, give me my PSN. That's for Glory 2, Fairy Kingdom, Masakura Hishi 4. Super Duo 4. Originally it was trying to use about change to Super Duo 4 as of last a few weeks ago. Obviously, Super Nintendo 64, all from my PSNs. Face Hutch 12 is one of my Spotify's. Face Hutch 12, Cyberpunk 11, Arcade Hutch, Raiders Power 2, and that's for the series Madness, all digital CS6, all digital Matrix. You'll find it all for my YouTube, Savage Hutch 1. Unique Hutch, KBH Podcast that I'm making on currently, and These Frontiers 2, and Astro vs. Madness vs. PS6 all made. That's all 5 my YouTubes now. Now they retrospect my old one. It's considered a retro one now because it was idle for that long. But either way, I got kept it with the copyright strikes on that one. But either way, certain person, essentially, you already know who did that. I told you in one of my videos last week. But either way, I'll make one more video tonight, and then this one we'll wait This one will relate to a different topic, pretty much talk about the sports industry. For that one, I make those data to it, but showing off the top overall data stuff. The data to it's about that channel that you saw from earlier and AI data, pun intended, whatever the name of that channel was. But either way, but one more bill that just relate to the sports industry, and I just got to my 700 bill made today. They're making those 2 bills earlier today. But either way, notify me on Facebook. That's my whole name spelled backwards. You'll see the Heaven and Hell Edge AI picture from Dreams Time. Site app, the installer that I installed for the AI art pictures, and just I installed a few other apps installed that brought AI art pictures. But either way, and count Pixel Bay. I got more than half the pictures saved on my Google Photos and which called Amazon Photos, the Pixel Bay and Dreams Time and the other 2 sites. All for the AI art. But either way, notify me on Instagram. That'll be Legend 2. Hutch Konami. It's Couch on my merch meta, which come on Instagram, and then notify me on Xbox Pixel Cloud Gaming. That's Alpha 4859 Retro 54. You know it's me. Just keep those close friend requests coming on PSN and keep those close friend requests on, and I keep adding people to eventually reach my friends. I don't know what the friends are as far as Xbox is, but I'm assuming it's probably 999 somewhere around there. But either way, so stay tuned. More bills coming up tomorrow for my data tours, and then probably wait on the way to do my trophy update bills during the weekend. So that'll be a total of almost 12. I think almost 3, 4. I made this one. Then one more coming in a few seconds after this. Then 2 more bills of the data tours. That's 3 ones. So that's 3, 6, 9, and then 2 more bills on my trophy update. That's 11. So 11 bills made. But either way, get some in the smoke, please. Thanks. Thank you. But either way. Okay, guys, in the bed right there. This was a long rant, obviously. Just want to go on this rant, obviously. Stay tuned for my second video, but this is sports related for the next video. Yeah. Just stay tuned for this coming up in a few seconds. Yeah. This is.